Good afternoon, everybody out there across social media. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to the Tony Rose Show live cast for this Wednesday afternoon and a rainy Wednesday in Southern Kentucky. But we got a couple of great guests for you this afternoon to kind of let you know what's going on in their neck of the woods of the community as we continue to stay healthy at home. And this is kind of like the quarantine cast for a lot of folks out there as we get through it. Of course, today as well, we're adding on not just our Facebook Live page, but we're also live today on Twitter at Tony Rose Show there and on YouTube as well. Our YouTube live channel is up and running. So a lot of fun on tap. At around 20 minutes past the hour today, we're going to be joined by Landon Hampton from weatherornotbg.com. A rainy day out there in Southern Kentucky, but maybe a beautiful weekend on tap. Landon's going to check in with us. We hadn't talked to him in a while, so it'll be good to catch up with him. But on this International Dance Day, one crucial thing that you need for good dancing are two good feet below you. And even though we have to stay 6 feet apart, our guest today can help you take care of those two good feet. It is Dr. Chris Holland from South Central Kentucky Foot and Ankle. Dr. Holland, sir, how you doing, man? You got your ears on there?
Yes, sir. How you doing, Tony?
Hey, Chris, how you doing, man? It's good to talk to you, man. I miss seeing you at BAC, man. We got to get back in this gym thing and get back on this routine, right, buddy?
Me too. Me too. It's sitting here at home. You know, we're doing our job. We're doing what we're supposed to do. But I'm starting to go a little bananas, my friend. I have to be honest with you.
Of course, you are a podiatrist, right? Did I get that terminology correct there, right? The world of feet. How does one become fascinated? Do you have a bit of a foot fetish, I guess, to become a podiatrist, right? How does one get into that line of work?
Well, I have to disappoint you. No foot fetish. I get asked that a lot.
Right.
But you know, it was a strange road. When I was in undergrad, I probably changed my major 6 times, like everybody else. Mm-hmm. And I read an article in a Sports Illustrated magazine about a podiatrist who helped an athlete, and he was the only one that could really help him. And that's really what piqued my interest. So I like a challenge. I like things that make my brain work. Right. I don't like cookbook type things. What interests. So not a foot fetish. But.
so how long have you been a podiatrist? How long have you been in the business?
Oh my gosh. 26 years. Wow. 26 years.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a lot.
So you've seen them come and seen them go, seen shoe technology and things like that change over the years as well. And that's one of the reasons why I asked you to come on the live cast today and spend a few minutes with us, because so many people out there right now are adapting, and they're finding out that things like walking and running are back on their agenda because they've got time at home and they're wanting to exercise to just break up the monotony of quarantine life. And with that being said, they're probably experiencing some things in their feet, in their legs, and their ankles that they've never seen before. What are people feeling right now, do you think, if they haven't been physically active, especially walking and running out there over the last few years? What are they experiencing right now, you think, in their lower extremities like that?
Personally and professionally, I would have to say one of the number one things that I see in my practice is that people aren't limber enough. We've forgotten about stretching.
Yeah.
And I know myself that makes a big difference for me. So one of the things that I always encourage my patients to do and instruct them on how to stretch, especially your hamstrings, your lower back, your calves, Achilles tendon, before and after your workout. Whether it's strenuous or whether you're going around, walking around the block for a leisure
right
walk. Another thing is switching your shoes. If you're a big time runner, if you're running 4, 5, 6 days a week, I think it's extremely important to switch your shoes out. I used to be a big time runner,
right?
And I always had shoes for even days and shoes for odd days, because it takes at least 24. It depends on the sole, on the rubber.
Right.
18 to 24 hours for foam to expand back to its original thickness,
Wow.
so you can get the shock absorptive properties out of it. Another thing that I would encourage, of course, the earth is more forgiving than blacktop,
Right.
and blacktop is more forgiving than concrete. So I know beggars can't be choosers. You know, you have to adapt.
Yeah.
But if you can, when you're walking outside in the neighborhood, if you can walk on the blacktop as opposed to the concrete, that's going to be much better on your joints. And then if you can make it down to Kyriakis,
Yeah.
and walk on the ground, that's optimal.
Even better there. And of course, we're talking to Dr. Chris Holland. You can find him on Instagram at Soaky Foot Ankle. It's a really fun Instagram account as well. Get to see some behind the scenes action there. And of course, like many folks out there, adapting to quarantine life, like so many of us. Now, have you been essential, or have you been kind of shut down over the last couple of weeks with what you do? How have you been able to deal with your patients and things like that over the last 6 weeks or so? How has life been for you?
It's changed a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, like everybody else. We shut down on March 18th. But we have been open for infections, wounds, trauma,
Right.
that type of thing.
Right.
But I shut morally, because we have a lot of elderly patients.
Right.
I would say over 50% of our patients really. And so out of the concern of their health, that's why we shut down operations, 90%.
Wow. So you're excited, I guess, in a way, to be able to get back to some of that now. Like, what's the process right now for you? Like, what can you share with us about the back to work phase for so many folks out there, including in the medical field, like what you do? What's this process for you like now?
Well, for us, we're going to open up either the 11th or the 18th. We have a couple things that we have to wait to get in the mail.
Right.
So we can adhere to the governor's standards. But yeah, man, I'm chomping at the bit to get out of here. I cannot wait to society in some type of way.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
We have to do. But yeah, it's just. I'm like everybody else. I just can't wait to get back out of here.
Talking to Dr. Chris Holland, Soaky Foot Ankle on Instagram, podiatrist. I like to call him the podiatrist to the stars here in Southern Kentucky. All right, here's what I want to do. I'm going to throw some of these foot or ankle type injuries that we hear a lot about, whether we think we have them or we hear an athlete who may have them, and just in simple Tony Rose terms here, explain what some of these are, if it's okay. I'm going to just throw some at you and see what we can come up with. I hear a lot about in the world, especially in the world of football, the Lisfranc injury. What exactly is a Lisfranc? We hear that a lot with football players, especially.
Yeah, Lisfranc injury is it's an injury where it's hard to explain without any pictures, but on your hand,
right?
If there's a joint right here in your foot,
right,
and it's the second metatarsal, the base of the second metatarsal, basically becomes a piece of the bone becomes avulsed off with a shearing force or a blunt force.
Right.
So any type of movement laterally, or if you're on any type of ground that's uneven, it's going to hurt like heck.
Right.
Usually that requires surgery because that ligament has been torn and that joint has been violated. And there's so much shearing forces that go through there. Not so much like a hinge joint like you think of,
right,
but it's more of a shearing force.
All right, another one that we hear a lot about, and I have a feeling that a lot of us may suffer from this, who are runners, who are physically active, or may even be like maybe wearing the wrong pair of shoes even. Plantar fasciitis. What exactly is plantar fasciitis?
My old friend, plantar fasciitis. Um, basic, basically, what plantar fasciitis is, I explain it as a tendonitis in the foot with patients.
Right.
So again, if this is your right back here on the heel,
Right.
membranous band of tissue that attaches on a piece of bone called the tubercle,
Right.
and it's a little knot of bone. But where that tendon attaches, that area becomes extremely inflamed. And this is one injury. I've seen a lot of injuries. I've seen a lot of really tough athletes, a lot of really tough people
Right.
that can kind of walk it off or walk through it. This is one of those injuries I've never seen anybody walk through. The more you're on it, the worse it gets.
Wow.
So where that tendon or ligament, if you will, attaches to the bone, it becomes inflamed. And there's some tricks that you can use to combat this. And one of the biggest tricks I use that a radiologist taught me 30 years ago was, man or woman, you have to get in a shoe with an elevated heel,
Okay.
inch and a half to 2 inch heel, believe it or not.
Wow.
So guys, I tell them cowboy boots, and women, I tell them clog or wedge type shoes.
Wow.
And women, they're always happy to buy some more shoes. So that's always good news for them.
And I've been looking for a reason to buy cowboy boots for a while. So there you go.
Hey, you know what? I love cowboy boots. They're the most comfortable shoe I've ever worn. But they don't go with shorts. So
Well, yeah. Well, that's true.
There's a
Well, I
couple.
don't know. I mean, in the right setting, anything goes, right? I mean, hey. Talking to Dr. Chris Holland, podiatrist at Soki Foot and Ankle today. A lot of folks out there are running, being more physically active than ever, which means they're probably feeling aches and pains like they've never felt before. Here's one that I know a lot of our hardworking women out there, and especially a lot of our folks maybe on that front line side, on the healthcare side, they probably suffer from as well. Bunions. What exactly is a bunion? Because we always have heard, like, oh, I got bad bunions, or I got, what exactly is a bunion, and how does that happen exactly?
A bunion, if you've ever seen anybody's foot, and on the big toe,
Right.
where the toe comes in, they've got that big old knot on the side of their foot.
Yeah.
That's a bunion. And basically what's happening is the joint is slowly dislocating. So if your joint's intact, then it's intact. If it's dislocated, it's completely out of joint.
Right.
And what's happening here is the joint is becoming where it's halfway in and halfway out. There's many factors that can cause this, but most of the time it's usually hereditary. It's due to a foot type, a different way that the end of the bone is configured. People with a more rounded head
Mhm.
are more prone to a bunion. You have more of a square head, you're least adapt to have a bunion.
Right.
There's many factors, but I would say most of it would be hereditary, and then secondary would be your activity and probably your shoe gear.
All right. One last one, and I say,
And unfortunately,
say
I was
what?
going to say, unfortunately, really the only way to fix that. Unfortunately, really the only way to fix that would be surgery.
Okay. Well, there's what you want to avoid then,
Yeah.
right there. Yeah, the surgery. And finally, I guess a fun one, kind of for you, right? Ingrown toenails and things like that. I mean, that's kind of gross and
Oh,
icky,
yeah.
but I guess you have to deal with that too, right?
Yeah, I dig those. Those are fun, man. Yeah. When I was a resident in Southern California, when we worked in the ER, their motto was, "If it's pus, it's podiatry." So I really learned how to deal with infection. So yeah, ingrown nails, no big deal.
Yeah.
The nail becomes embedded into the skin.
Right.
And the only way, once that happens, the only way to resolve that is to remove the nail from the skin.
Ugh.
I don't care how many antibiotics you take. As long as that's in there, your body sees that as a
Yeah.
foreign body and tries to that out.
Yeah.
So yeah, you would be amazed at how many kids hide their toes from their parents for months. Dude, I'm serious. For months, then their toe comes in. It looks like there's a cherry tomato on the end of it.
Oh, God. Which, by the
And
way,
you ask them, you go, "That hurt, right?" And they look at you. Oh no,
which, by the way,
no, that doesn't hurt at all.
check out the Instagram page at Soaky Foot Ankle, because you do have a few interesting pictures on there of some things that you deal with, right?
Yeah, take a photo. Yes, sir. Yeah.
All right, let me ask you a couple more questions before I let you get out of here. We appreciate you taking some time, Dr. Chris Holland, Soaky Foot Ankle on Instagram. A lot of folks out there, like we said, they're getting out, they're being more active than ever with warm weather coming on. They're going to be running more than ever. Also running on treadmills and things like that, where you can really beat your body up faster than you realize. So you're saying invest in a good pair of sneakers if you're going to be active. It's like if you're driving a Corvette and you put cheap wheels on it. It's got cheap wheels on a Corvette. It's your body. You want to take care of it. So good shoes are a must, right?
Most definitely. And what a lot of people don't understand is, if you don't have a stable foundation, that translates up your body. It translates to your knee, ankles, to your knees, to your hips, up to your lower back. It's like that Bible verse. If you build your house on sand,
Right.
It's not going to be as stable as the ground.
Right.
And it applies to your body. So, and you have to be cognitive of your foot type. People with flat feet are going to have problems that people with high arched feet don't have,
Right.
and vice versa. And there are shoe brands out there that they're not going to tell you that they cater to this type of foot. But if you have a flat foot, Adidas, New Balance are gonna cater to your foot, or
Right.
be more to your foot than a Reebok or a Nike would.
And that's something too, like somebody, if they got a question about that, they can always, like I said, once you get the doors back open here in a couple of weeks, they come by there. I guess you could take a look at their feet and really recommend them in what direction to go towards proper footwear as well there. Dr. Chris Holland, Soaky Foot Ankle from South Central Kentucky Foot and Ankle. Real quick before I let you get out of here, man, I'll give you the floor for a second. To talk to your patients out there, to talk to the folks that have been missing you over the last couple of weeks. What would you like to say to your patient base there, if they're having a chance to watch this? And I know you've been thinking about them, and they've been thinking about you. What would you like to say to them?
Mainly my diabetic patients and my elderly patients. If you have a problem, come on in. We're taking precautions. We're going to be cleaning the rooms after every visit, limiting the number of people in our waiting rooms. We're taking all the precautions. We're going to be taking temperatures of everyone that comes in, wearing masks, gloves. So I understand the fear. I understand the precautions, but we don't want a callus turning into a wound or an ulcer.
Right.
So, have a problem, come on in, we'll take care of you. And I hope that everyone's doing well.
Yeah.
I hope everyone's healthy, and getting some exercise, as well as, mental exercise.
Yeah.
Doing a puzzle or
Well,
learning a language or something. I don't know.
I was going to say, as a parent of a first grader, I've learned more first grade math than I think I actually learned in first grade. So I'm doing great, buddy. Hey, Chris, we miss you, buddy. We can't wait to get back into the gym as well. And like I said, man, let's have a great summer. Let's get back in the groove of things. I really appreciate you taking a few minutes for us to come on and share some tips and talk some of us off the ledge too, man. If we're out there hurting a little bit, it's all going to be all right. Buddy, be good. At Soaky Foot Ankle on Instagram. Dr. Chris Holland. Thanks, buddy. Stay safe. Okay. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, Tony. It's good to see your face, man.
Good to see
you.
you.
Know what? You must be gunning for Ryan Seacrest as the hardest working man in show business, dude. Proud of you. Keep it going.
Hey, man, you're that early morning Instagram crowd with me, like at 4:30 in the morning. I'm seeing you on there, so I can appreciate, respect the game. The game knows game, man. So we appreciate it, buddy. Hey, stay safe. We'll talk to you soon, okay?
Good to see you, Tony.
Good stuff right there. That's Dr. Chris Holland. You know him from, of course, our friends at Soki Ankle Clinic, man. Soki Foot and Ankle, I should say. He's Soki Foot Ankle on on Instagram. He's a funny dude too, man. He's got some really, really good stuff there on Instagram. Coming up here in just a short minute, we're going to be joined by our buddy Landon Hampton, weatheronotbg.com. He is going to check in a rainy day out there in Southern Kentucky, but we are waiting on standby for Landon right now. Matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and holler at him real quick, send him a text and see if he is standing by to connect with me right now. Look at this. This is, I'm saying, connect with me, exclamation point. Chris Holland, good dude, awesome cat, and really, really, really solid guy. Overall on this International Dance Day, which coming up, I'm going to be joined by one of my favorite Disney princesses after we talk to Landon. She is standing by to join us today with an update on her Trolls collection, amongst many other things.
Yes, and I also want to talk about something.
Oh, you got something on your mind? Well, hold real quick before Landon calls in here. What's on your mind there, dear?
Well, it's like a lot of stuff we talked about, but I was watching a video about like all the trolls, like Kyotas and stuff.
Right.
Like at like Disney Parks and stuff.
Right.
And yeah, I want to talk about that.
Okay, well, we'll talk about that coming up in a minute. Okay, as soon as Landon gets done. Okay, but my director Kenner is standing off camera here as well. So anyway, of course, today is International Dance Day. It is also Jerry Seinfeld's birthday today. It's Uma Thurman's birthday and Michelle Pfeiffer, all celebrating birthdays today on this International Dance Day today. Jerry Seinfeld, by the way, 66 years old. 66. Holy cow. Yeah, hold on a second. What do we got here? What do we got? Uh-oh. Let me see. Uh-oh, I think I sent Landon the wrong login information here. Okay, hang on a second. Let me get Landon the right info here. Okay, here we go. Gonna try this again. Boom, boom, boom. And then boom, boom, boom. Okay, and then boom, 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 boom. All right, try that one, buddy. There we go. For the folks watching on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, we appreciate you guys tuning in and being with us today on our live cast. A couple of the things, too, to throw out there. Did you see this story? The Center for Disease Control and Prevention, the CDC, says we now have to protect against social distancing from our pets. As Ari is literally standing right down here at my feet as we speak. Yeah, social distancing from our pets. Crazy stuff. How do you feel about that, buddy? Cats usually are really good at this anyway. But yeah, so social distancing from our pets. The CDC says we have to do this. On Tuesday, the CDC released new guidelines. Do not let pets interact with people or animals outside the household. If a person inside the household becomes sick, isolate that person from everyone, including their pets. The CDC recommends that we avoid dog parks and other large gatherings with our four-legged friends. With only a limited amount of information, it appears humans are at low risk of contracting the COVID-19 from an infected family pet, but still, the CDC is in full panic mode. With that being said, let me ask this guy right here who joins us right now on the live cast. Where's your dog at Landon Hampton? Are you guys staying safe? Are you isolating from your pets as well?
No, man, luckily they're getting to hang out with us. We've got the whole gang, man. We got all three of them with us hanging out.
Yeah, my cat just heard dogs and he just ran off, so we're good. Landon Hampton joins us right now on Facebook Live. We finally got you connected. You almost joined somebody else's meeting. I'm sorry about that.
I was going to ask, is this the Rocky Rudolph meeting room?
How you doing, buddy? I hadn't talked to you in forever, man. Thanks for joining us. Weatheronotbg.com. You've got a little bit of weather to deal with today. It was kind of windy today, wasn't it?
Yes, sir. You got that right, Tony. We're getting a little taste of all seasons. You know, this morning we hit 70 degrees. I think we're down closing in on the lower 50s, if I'm not mistaken. So definitely been quite the change in the winds. It's bringing us a little bit of taste of that colder weather.
But this weekend, it's going to be nice, right? Come on. Give me something.
Sir.
Give me some good news, buddy. What's the story?
Yeah, the good news will be Friday and Saturday is going to look a whole lot nicer than what the rest of this afternoon and tomorrow is going to look like. We're going to keep these low clouds around, some hit and miss showers. Tomorrow going to be colder as well. Highs won't be getting out of the 50s, but then we're going to be around the low and mid 70s on Friday, and wait for it, Tony,
Uh-oh.
low 80s come Saturday.
We're getting outdoors. We're gonna
yeah,
have
here we go.
at this point.
Might
we're
have
gonna
to exercise your little patio outfit back there, right?
I have a feeling that we may make a
Is the pool
splashdown.
open?
It is open. It is just waiting right now. Here's one. Let me throw this at you, Landon, because we hadn't had a chance. This is the first time we've talked in probably about a month. At least a month
Yes.
and a half. It's been like. And I've had the worst sinus headaches to the point that I constantly think I've like got the coronavirus or something. Which who knows? We may all have it. I don't know. But that's another podcast. But anyway, but I've had the worst sinus headaches because I feel like pollen and things like that have been worse this year than I can remember ever. Am I just being a little paranoid, or have levels of pollen and things like that been higher than they've ever been?
Tony, it might be a little bit of both. Not trying to dodge the question here, but if you think about it, we kind of had a mild winter. We really didn't have any major snow or ice events that came through here,
Right.
and it was very wet. February was extraordinarily wet as well. We saw the vegetation and the growth where you see the process of plants and vegetation got going a little bit quicker than average.
Right.
So I don't think that it's any coincidence with you see all the wasps, the bees doing their things, man, the birds, whatever. Pollination is in full effect, and it's definitely been a heavy dose of it out there here recently.
So you've had a chance to stay healthy at home. I know you've been out there getting out, doing a lot of walking, doing a lot of traveling. What are you noticing about just the mood of people in your universe at weatherornotbg.com, which, by the way, you can follow along wxornotbg.com. What's the mood of everybody right now at your place, and kind of what you've been picking up from in the communities that you're in?
Well, man, everyone's facing challenges, and it goes from friends of mine and people who we're in contact with as a business that it's impacted their business, obviously, just like it's impacted ours and basically everyone else's in some way, shape, or form.
Right.
And man, whenever you talk about us here at Weather or Not BG, for those who don't know, we always have 5 contributors from WKU Meteorology. And it's kind of unfortunate because we've got 4 of those who are seniors this year.
Wow.
So, having those conversations with the 4 seniors and all their accomplishments, they're all going to be, certified and degreed meteorologists here within the next couple of weeks. And, I'm not going to lie, man, that mood kind of got me down a little bit, having our Zoom conversations and our meetings talking about what all that they're going to be able to or not going to be able to partake in.
Talking to Landon Hampton, weatherornotbg.com. Of course, you can follow him there for the latest weather updates across the board, wherever you're at. Contributor as well at D93, our friends at WLBQ, the Edmondson Voice, all of our gang there, all checking in, and he's on all those platforms as well. It's the Tony Rose Livecast for the folks tuning in on Facebook. We do this every Monday through Thursday, Mondays and Wednesdays at 2, Tuesday, Thursdays at 7. Also today on Twitter and on YouTube for everybody out there across all the platforms. It's kind of cool, isn't it, Landon? I mean, you're a guy who was on top of streaming like this, doing live casts, using the technology out there, Zooms and FaceTimes and everything like that before we had to use it for almost day-to-day life. It's kind of neat, isn't it, seeing people adapt to technology that you've kind of been on for a while?
Yeah, Tony, that's for sure. You talk about everything that we have access to, at this day and age, Zoom obviously being one of them, a platform that we're using now, but just the live streaming capabilities, it's not limited to just anyone or a certain group in particular anymore. Everyone can literally go live from, a touch of their device on an application now. And seeing people get more comfortable in that live setting. I remember whenever I first got into broadcasting, I'm sure that you remember to an extent, it can be nerve-wracking at times.
Right.
For someone who doesn't have a background in that, but still wants to keep their business on the forefront. And it's been awesome to see a lot of the local entities and businesses here in the South Central Kentucky area adapting well and being able to use that to get their message out and keep afloat.
And especially during this time of year, just like us on the radio side, you on the weatherornotbg.com side, our buddies in Morgantown or Edmonson County or wherever it is, having those relationships in place are, whether it's your sponsors, your partners, whoever is involved, that is what is so big for us right now. It's people talk about supporting local business. We always talk about supporting local radio, and in lots of ways, it's just supporting local media across the board. And I know this is a time where the relationships that you've formed with your partners and your sponsors, it's got to feel special to you to still be able to deliver content to them to help their businesses stay afloat during hard times.
Yeah, absolutely. It's no question. And, it's really important to have those, not relationships that don't have a healthy foundation,
Yeah.
but people have been with you for several years now, and being able to still be able to support each other. It's of, the highest importance in the toughest of times. And I guess you could relate it to the age-old cliche of, I guess we're in it through thick and thin, right?
Yeah. Here's the thing too, real quick, Landon. Of course, we are on the radio every Friday with you when we're not quarantined at D93. We see you across multiple platforms. For the folks who may for the first time, or they explain what the concept of WXOrNotBG.com is, because it is not your traditional here's your forecast weather service. It's literally, I kind of compare it to almost like a 24/7 on-call, all-encompassing meteorological service for everybody out there. But explain what WXOrNotBG.com is and what you guys have at the website, on the social media, and across multiple platforms.
Certainly, Tony. Well, basically, kind of what you said, we're most known for our media side of things. We've got a media arm, we've got a private side where we provide private forecasting for insurance companies and other things like that. But basically, whenever it comes to the weather, Tony, you said it best. It's 24/7. We're never taking any time off. We were expecting, some storms that could have held together. Laid my head down around 9 o'clock last night. I got up around 3:30 this morning to make sure everything was kosher, everything was good, and looking at the timing whenever those storms are going to arrive. Our most heaviest used platform is Twitter, without any question. Now, you can find us on Instagram. We use that mostly for the photos, send us, etc. Or we do our Facebook Live forecast every morning, severe weather live coverage. But Twitter chronologically still puts things in order,
Right.
or at least you still have the option to do so. And that is by far and away the best utilized platform whenever it comes to a weather service. It just makes sense for us to use Twitter in comparison to another outlet like Instagram or Facebook, where you might be being notified of a severe thunderstorm that took place 3 or 4 days ago. It just doesn't really
Right.
make that much sense. Yeah.
You guys do incredible work, and like I said, as a brand, as an influencer, in a lot of ways too, you're always on. Like the clock never really stops, and it's finding that separation between the two. But you guys do a great job with all your contributors at WXOrNotBG.com as well. It's a great website, including the Skycam section. You guys actually have cameras up over pretty much all of Southern Kentucky. Run down where they can actually see live views from 24 hours a day at the website.
Yeah, you can jump onto WXOrNotBG.com/Skycams.
Right.
We've got our 2 Bowling Green Skycams, one setting up on Final Finish right on the corner of Pioneer Drive and Dishman Lane. Of course, our D93 Skycam, one of our most popular views of downtown. We have one on the Morgantown City Hall, Morgantown City Hall, looking due west.
Right.
So we can see those storms coming in off the horizon. We also have one located, as you mentioned earlier, with our friends at the Edmonton Voice, just outside of Brownsville, and another one overlooking the Nolan Lake Dam Camp. So quite the assortment out there, to say the least.
Covered everywhere, buddy. Well, man, I appreciate you. It's good talking to you. I'm glad I had a chance to track you down for a few minutes because, like I said, I know the other day I was like, hey, man, come on the live cast with me. And you're like, I'm heading out on a 10K hike. How did that go?
Oh, it was good, man. We've been, our dogs are in the best shape of their lives. That's for sure. That's for sure. We're about to, maybe if we can get this rain to settle down, we'll take them on their 23rd walk of the day a little bit later this afternoon.
And that's what we just had right before you came on. We had Chris Holland, the podiatrist, on, and he was talking about, like people are hearing aches and creaks and pains that they never knew they had before because they're doing so much walking that they never realized that their feet could hurt so bad at some point. So at least you're ahead of the game on that one. Landon Hampton, weatherornotbg.com, buddy. I appreciate you taking some time for us, man. I know you're busy even during quarantine times, watching the weather as well. Let's hope for a beautiful weekend that we could get out and enjoy and just unplug from the news for a little bit and enjoy it, buddy. It's good talking to you, and I can't wait to get you back in the studio at D93 too, buddy. Okay.
All right, I appreciate it, Tony. And hey, man, this stuff you're doing, man, with the live streams and everything else, like we talked about, man, staying on the forefront of things, man, and what you do for the community. I thank you from me as well as from all your viewers, I'm sure, as well. So we appreciate you, buddy.
Hey, man, you're a good friend, Landon. Send my best to everybody, and we'll talk soon. Keep doing what you're doing, okay?
All right, take care. See you.
The good guy right there, man. Landon Hampton, weatherornotbg.com is the appropriate site there for you guys to go check out. Really, really cool stuff, man. Really, really good guy too, man. It's the Tony Rose live cast. As always, we do it 4 days a week right now until I run out of my friends to go talk to. Tomorrow, before I bring in my very talented director over here who is standing by, tomorrow on the live cast, we are going to be joined at 7 p.m. by somebody I've been wanting to track down and talk to forever, Dr. Bernard Salome, plastic surgeon. I'm going to go ahead and throw this out there. I think I've got like a man crush on the guy because he's just on top of it. He is a personality. He is like one of these TLC shows waiting to happen. I mean, really, just on his game all the time. He does daily, right now during the quarantine, he's doing like daily live chats on Instagram where you can ask him plastic surgery questions and he'll answer them. He did an outstanding deed for our Southern Kentucky community recently where he donated one of his ventilators to our frontline healthcare workers right there in the hospitals. That is thousands of dollars in a donation. That is a solid human being move right there. Tomorrow, Dr. Salome will join us right here on the live cast at 7 p.m. I'm going to ask him so many plastic surgery type questions. He's got a fantastic YouTube channel where he actually does procedures on there. The guy's a star waiting to happen, and I can't wait to get him on tomorrow to talk to him. My director over here is here today. I'm not joined by Kenner, but I'm actually joined by Ariel from The Little Mermaid, I believe, right? Hello, Ariel. How are you doing over there today?
Good.
Yeah, get up on that microphone there. How you making it there, buddy? You hanging in there okay today? How's your day going today? Okay. I like the outfit very much. It's a very awesome outfit you have on. Yes. You did your makeup and everything today. Yeah. All right. You good there?
Yeah.
Okay. Get up on that mic. Don't be scared of it there. So you got a new Trolls toy today, right? What Trolls character did you get? Branch. Can you show him off to everybody there? Let's see your new Trolls. That's your Happy Meal toy, right? All right. And we literally went to get a Happy Meal toy today because you want to get the whole set. So, and again, don't forget our friends at our locally owned and operated McDonald's, all frontline healthcare workers and EMS and firefighters. They are all getting free Happy Meals all through May the 5th, I believe. You can stop by and do that. Ari has run over there to you as well. What's Ari doing over there with you? What's he up to? Ari, he is.
And then we have the Cloud Guy and Poppy.
Yeah. Cool. So you've got almost the whole set now, right? How many are in the set?
I don't know.
Okay. All right. Can I tell you today's good news story?
Yes.
Can
And then we can talk about what I was like telling about before.
What is it? What? Oh, go ahead, tell us. What is it? Did Ari just scratch you?
Like it's me.
He bit you? Oh no. Hopefully he doesn't have. Anyway. Okay. What?
We can talk about it after because
Okay. You don't want to talk about it now?
after you do the good news.
Okay, all right, here we go. Today's good news story on our live cast before we wrap it up. Here's a good one. Back in 2019, Bobby Jindal suffered a stroke which caused him to make a big life change. He quit working for a large company, recovered from the stroke, and bought the Basil Pizzeria in Oakland, California earlier this year. And then, of course, COVID-19 happened. But Bobby, is Ari okay over there? But Bobby hasn't forgotten all the help he's received from healthcare workers during his recovery. So he's using his pizzeria to put smiles on faces of doctors and nurses is a big thank you. Knowing the long hours healthcare workers put in, the Basil Pizzeria is providing free pizza kits for their families with a goal of donating 70 kits a week, both to honor their help saving his life in 2019 and to honor their sacrifice now as they save lives each and every day. Good for you, Bobby. All right, that's our good news story. Kenner.
I don't think Ari likes the good news story.
No, Ari likes pizza, but he doesn't like the good news story. Don't push him off. He's just wanting to play. He's all fired up now. You've gotten Ari all fired up over there. All right, what was you going to tell everybody, Kenner? What was your...
Like, I watched.
Get up on that microphone. Get right up
I
on it.
watched a video of like trolls and like it was all the characters
Right?
and like Guy Diamond, like the character that was in it, like the person that was in it.
Right.
Like that Guy Diamond costume, he actually pooped glitter. He actually pooped glitter.
He pooped glitter. I think that is probably one of the most incredible things I've ever heard in my life right there. He pooped glitter. That's amazing, Kenner.
The person inside it, like the costume, it pooped glitter. It had glitter coming out of it.
Really? All right. We worked a glitter coming out of its butt today into the podcast. That's
It
fantastic.
was a long time ago.
Okay. Was that Trolls 1 or Trolls 2?
Trolls 1.
You know how much money Trolls 2 has made at the box office? I saw this earlier. It's made $100 million.
Oh,
Isn't that crazy?
yeah.
Yeah. Ari, you okay back there, buddy? Just joining in.
Off the microphone, buddy.
Hey, Ari.
Anything you want to say that you're hungry?
He feed me some food. I'm so hungry. I'm being held captive in my own house. The humans never leave. All right, Kenner. Well, let's go and see if it stopped raining. Maybe it'll stop raining and we can go ride our bikes. Are you gonna ride in the Little Mermaid outfit if we do?
Yeah.
I don't know. Your dress may get hung in the pedals. All right. Thanks again to Dr. Chris Holland, podiatrist, for joining us. Soki Foot Ankle on Instagram, Landon Hampton, weather.bg.com. Tomorrow we are joined by Dr. Bernard Salome from our plastic surgeon friend here in town. Fantastic follow on Instagram as well. He joins us tomorrow. You guys have a great rest of your Wednesday and stay safe and stay healthy out there. Thanks for watching today.